Hello everyone, today I'm going to be showing you what a racing driver would take in their kit bag, more specifically what I take in my kit bag when I go to the racetrack. So what I'll do quickly, I'm going to empty out my bag. I'll pretend I'm packing it, if you know what I mean. So first things first, I'm just like awkwardly squat to get in the frame, but this is my bag, so I've just gutted it out like I said. It's a bell bag, even though I've never had a bell, I only wear Arrow. Yeah, it's empty, as you can probably see, empty. So it's got three main compartments, there's this bag. So it's got the big main part in the middle. This is like a helmet part, the one end, and then the other part, the other end. So the way I like to pack it, I like to fill up this end first. So what I do with that is hands device. For those of you who don't know what a hands device is, you basically, this goes on your shoulders like this, and then you clip these onto your helmet, so then when you hit something you can't break your neck. People who've been watching Formula 1 for a long time will remember these coming in place in the early 2000s when they got made mandatory, and no one liked them at first. Everyone was really against them, but in the end then you had to wear them, so which I think is really good because they're so safe, and I would never ever go on track now without one of these because you can easily break your neck. So this thing obviously essential, so that goes in the first pocket. So first pocket right in there. Then I've got two pairs of boots. I've got a black and orange pair, a white and black pair, so they're both very good. I like to race with the white pair, so I put those in first because you normally racing later in the weekend, and then I like to test in my black ones because I don't like the look of them so much. So I'm testing them, racing the white ones, then you're sharing the load equally. Right, so that's really the first compartment done. Then I like to do the second compartment. So first things first, I put a race suit in there. So as you can see, fully custom Torque race suit this one is. Torque do an amazing job with the suits, absolutely love it. This would have been 2019 they made me this suit, and it's still a perfect nick, so really happy with that. So that just folds up nice and neatly into this rucksack. Also that's really good because it's like the padding for what I put in next, which is a helmet. So obviously this is crucial for obvious reasons to not break your skull when you crash. So race lid, this is one of my older lids, but yeah, brilliant piece of kit. And as you can see, I've got fitted inside some Velcro in there. Now what that Velcro is for is, as you may have seen quite a bit off, the visor cam. So I actually put the visor cam in there, and then that's how I get the POV shots because it's in my helmet. And then what we were talking about earlier, that's the clips for the hands device. So you can imagine you put the hands device over your shoulders, clip onto these, and then you get to go nice and safe. This helmet is not like my current race helmet, it's for testing. So say if I'm just doing like a test event or a lower level race, I'll race in this helmet that I'm showing you now, as this is it's a GP6 still, which is like quite high quality, but it's fiberglass, whereas my main helmet is carbon fiber. So I like I say, I like to kind of spread out the wear on all of my equipment rather than just abuse one piece of kit all the time. So that would go in next, but here's where I get kind of crafty with stuff. I like to pack really efficiently, so I put in, like I'll show you now, I put in 2 sets of fireproofs. So let me show you that. Second set of fireproofs done, and as you can see, I fold them. I like to do a bit of a double fold. These have obviously just been washed, but then what that means is you can just easily fit them inside the lid. Just like that, and then you get to travel nice and efficiently. So I launched the helmet bag back on this. That's the next thing in there. So this is another race suit from 2019 actually. Just happens to be the same year, different team. But for this year, 2023, this has been my predominant sort of testing suit. So whenever I'm coaching people and stuff like that, I've been wearing this. So this has had the most mileage this year. In previous years, it never really got much mileage because I wasn't with this team for too long. But it's a decent suit, nevertheless. I'll probably put on a picture or a video of me wearing it at the racetrack. But yeah, it's nice enough. But I just prefer the Torque suit over it, to be honest. So I'd rather race in the Torque. This is a K1 suit. I've got no relation to that brand whatsoever. But the team at the time had a deal with them, so obviously they were giving the team suits for free or something like that. But yeah, nice enough suit. I like how it's got the Union Jack and the Spanish flag on the shoulder, so it's very cool. So that goes in on top of the helmet. So this one I don't fold up as efficiently or as tightly, but then I put it like this. Put it around my race lid, and then that's when I'm travelling. It's like a bit of extra padding just to try and help that helmet from getting damaged anymore. Like I say, with the new lids now, that are like really important to me, I would always wrap it round with something because I learned my lesson the hard way back in 2018 with that helmet there getting cracked. So right, so now we've just got this main compartment left. And again, I like to be as maximum efficient as possible when it comes to packing. So I've actually got another lid that I put in here. This is my wet helmet. As you can probably tell, it's a different visor. So I've got the yellow visor on this one. If you look through there, it's hard to really tell, but it gives it a different look when you're on track. So when you're out and it's dark, in particular in the dark, but especially when it's wet as well, it will really brighten everything up, really bring up the light. And again, as you can see, I've got the Velcro for the visor cam. So I put on probably like a little clip of me using this in the rain and how it's different to the dry visor. But yeah, I really like it. So again, this is not my carbon lid. This is another fiberglass one, same sort of era as that other one. This was actually my first ever car helmet, so I would have got this in 2016, whereas that one in the bag would have been 2018, I do believe that I got that. So yeah, you can see this one's had a bit more batterings, a few more chips where the paint's been chipped off, all up here. But it's part of the territory, isn't it? You know, like, you're flying around over 160 miles per hour in some cases with your helmet exposed. So to think you're never going to get any chips or anything is a little bit ridiculous. But yeah, that's what goes in next. And again, I pack in 2 sets of fireproofs into the lid, just like I do the dry lid. And then in total, every event I've got 4 sets of fireproofs. Because when you're in the car, you're sweating so much. The last thing I want to do is, you know, do a test day and then rock up the next morning and have to put on wet fireproofs. There's been quite a few times I've had to do that, and it's just vile. So obviously over the years, been racing cars since 2016 now. Obviously in karting, you don't need the fireproofs in karting. So from when I was 4 in 2004 onwards, I would have never collected fireproofs. But from 2016 onwards, obviously start getting more and more sets. So it just makes sense to take as many as possible. And then, you know, it's very rare that an event's over 4 days in length. So ideally, you just wear 1 set of fireproofs every day and then you're just situated. So yeah, that's what goes in the next one. So I'll pack that up efficiently again now. The second set, nice and compact once again. I really like the combo. I know it's kind of not meant to be, but I actually really like the combo of the black fireproofs with the white socks. Don't know why, just think it looks really cool. But that's the first thing that goes into the central compartment. first things first, spare visor for the dry. So that goes in. Then my next thing is my gloves. So obviously those are important for obvious reasons. I might be a bit overkill, but I take like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pairs. Again, it's something else you collect over the years. So different brands, yeah, and stuff like that. But yeah, for me, my favourite are the Sparkos. These ones, I think they're called the Arrow, or like Arrow Touch S or something like that. Anyway, I really like them. So if I've got the name wrong, I'll probably put it on the screen here somewhere. But they go in this little netted compartment here. Then the next thing I take is my earbuds, because obviously it gets quite loud. So I've got a few that are like that are just your standard out the shop. And then I've got 2 sets that are actually custom ear molds. So those, when I was racing in the States, are really important because you're using the radio in the States. Over here, there's not that many categories that use radio, but those obviously are so handy because you want it to be as comfortable as possible. So I've opened the window because I'm a bit warm, but so there might be some background noise going on with the neighbours. But the next thing are the pads for the GoPros. So as you can see, these are like in case I ever need somewhere else to put a camera for a GoPro. And then in this one, I just happen to have some accessories for the visor, for the race visors. SD card, 16 gig. Won't get me very far nowadays, but yeah, just like bits and bobs. Again, what you collect over the years, like a memory stick, for example. But yeah, so that goes in next. So I'm going to put those like down the side or something, out of the way. Next thing is some spare Velcros for the visor cam. That goes in there too. And a water bottle with a long straw, pretty self-explanatory, in case I get thirsty in the race car. So I normally hand that to a mechanic at the start of the day or something, if it's hotter or if I'm in quite a physical car. If it's like cooler temperatures, which to be fair, normally it is over here and in Ireland, and if I'm in like a less physical car, then I won't really bother with it, because like if you're only doing 20-30 minute runs, you don't need it. But if you're in the car for like an hour, say in Florida, trust me, you need the water. So next up, I've got my balaclavas. Again, I've got 6 here. So you gain them over the years, and I'm not really a big fan of wearing the same one if it's still wet from the day before. So just a few spares and stuff. If you sweat profusely in a session, then you can just easily swap it over for another one. Tesco bag to put in my dirty laundry. I got my tear-offs, so those go on your visor. They're so handy for when your visor gets dirty, because you can't just clean your visor on track. So with these, I normally put up to 3 at a time on, and then you just literally put it off, and then you've got brand new vision. So I did make a TikTok about that, so maybe I'll put that on the screen and show. But it makes a huge difference, it's amazing. Then helmet cleaner, obviously to clean my helmet. This one's a bit empty, so I need to get a new one, but that'll do for now. And now the most important thing in the whole bag, notebooks. So I'm very big in taking notes. So say this one I had since like 2017, and obviously now I finished it. Now I'm on my 2nd notebook. But for me, the way I see the notebooks is that it's an extension of your memory. So I've got like an index here, so you can see I've put, you know, what track I'm at, in what category, in what car, and then what page it's on, and the date, stuff like that. So if I ever go back to say, back here I was a little bit less organised with putting it in and stuff, but yeah, you can see I kind of write notes. Now I've gotten a bit neater since, as I say, I'm a little bit neater now than I was then, but I need to come up with a system to put this all onto digital storage. because even though I prefer writing down, I think that's much better for me personally. Everyone's slightly different, but I need to have it really on a computer, because as you can see, these books get absolutely battered going across the world with me. So yeah, but that being said, it's the most important part. So I'm a very big believer in taking notes of everything that you're doing. It goes in at the top. So that's now the main parts of the bag done. As you can see, we've now got the two smaller pockets on the side. So I'll show you what I put in there. We've actually got another one here on this side, but I don't use it, so I'll use these two. So in this first one, I put in my Rain X's and my Molecule. So I've got I've got two of each basically, but different brands. So I've got rain repellent and anti-fog, and same again, so rain repellent, anti-fog. That's obviously for the visor, so you're always seeing where you're going basically. Next thing is I've got some helmet accessories. So that's for your visor clip. These are your visor screws to screw them in. And then I've got another Velcro thing, so yeah. Two screwdrivers. This one is for the visor, inside the visor, for when you're doing the tear-offs, so it can make it looser or tighter. And this is for the visor itself, for the visor bolts that go onto the helmet. Then I've got two spare spoiler things. I don't really know where I got these from, but these two have been painted, so they must have been on my helmet when they got painted at some point. Sellotape for the tear-offs. And last but not least, two microfibers. This is how the bag looks now it's packed. Pretty heavy, probably like 20 kilo, maybe like 18 kilo. But yeah, that's everything that I take in my kit bag for time away at the racetrack.